Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Gabriella, and in today's video I'm going to share with you guys some tips and tricks that I learned over the years on how to look elegant, expensive, elevated, and most importantly, without breaking the bank. So I've been working as a content creator for around 7 years now, and in the very beginning when I didn't really make any income out of it, I still needed to present myself as like my best elevated, elegant version so that I could make network and make contacts with the brands and people could perceive me as a good representation of their brand. For me, the personal image aspect was very important from the very beginning. These days, it's becoming more and more important to present yourself as your best image. This is not a matter of you trying to look rich or something or to impress and make it seem like you're something that you're not. It's just a matter of presenting yourself as your best version, as an elegant, elevated version, if you will. So without further ado, these are some tips and tricks that I used and still use until these days to look elegant, to look expensive, and chic overall. I have my notes. Okay, so before we start with the more practical tips, I want to say that for me, one of the most powerful tools whenever you're wanting to look elegant is to be confident and just have an elegant behavior overall. Confidence plays such an important role in the way that you are perceived by other people. While you're working on the more practical tips that I'm going to give, try to work also on your confidence and being a more secure person and just working on your self-esteem overall, because I feel like that plays a major part in everything. Okay, so let's get to the practical tips. I feel like number one is to tailor your clothes, especially if you're trying to save money, not wanting to invest any money in new pieces. It's so important to tailor your pieces so that they can fit perfectly in your body. It's really important for you to tailor your tailored trousers, for example, in a height of the heels or the kinds of shoes that you're used to wearing while wearing these trousers, to fit it around your waist so that there's no accumulation of fabric around your waist. These basic things that are such small details can make or break your outfit and the way that you look. Along with that tip, I would say add some 10 to 15 minutes on your getting ready time to iron or steam your clothes. And I'm guilty of not doing that all the time, but I can tell you that whenever I take some time to steam my clothes before I leave the house, I look and feel more polished than if I didn't pay attention to that. It's the small details. It adds maybe 10 minutes on your getting ready time. I know sometimes it's not possible, but if you're going to an important event or you're going to a work event, a networking event, I feel like it's so important to add these 10 minutes getting ready to pay a little bit of attention and just give some love to the clothes that you're gonna wear. My next tip is to learn and know your body proportions and dress accordingly. Nowadays, we take so much inspiration out of Pinterest or, out of influencers, what models off duty are wearing or what models are wearing off duty, that we should recreate these outfits at home. But sometimes what works on a model, most times what works on a model won't work for us. Taking some time to look yourself in the mirror and study your proportions and trying to dress up according to your proportions is going to make such a huge difference in your personal image. I, for example, thought for many years that I had an hourglass body shape, but then I actually took some time to study myself in the mirror and I found out that I actually have a pear-shaped body. So my shoulders and my waist are much narrower, or not much narrower, than my hips. So whenever I'm dressing up nowadays, I try to balance all my proportions, meaning in practical terms, I will always try to make my shoulders look a little bit wider, my hips look a little bit less wide because they're so much wider than the rest of my body. I also have a longer torso than my legs, so I always try also to balance that by wearing trousers or skirts with a higher waist. I know, for example, that low waist pants or skirts or anything low waist is not gonna work for my body type, so I don't dip my foot in these waters. It's very important to know your body proportions and dress accordingly. This is not about, wanting to look like I have longer legs or wanting to look skinny. It's just simply dressing up to flatter the features that you have and to make the right features stand out, and you know, the right features not stand out so much because they already do naturally. So it's all a matter of balance, and I feel like balance is such an important feature for you to look sophisticated and elevated and polished. So my next tip is about the accessories that you wear. I see on a lot of these like how to look expensive guides out there to, you know, just invest in a designer bag, but not everyone can. So, and I actually have a video of some like mid-range priced handbag brands that you can, you know, take a look, so you can, you know, purchase high quality, expensive looking bags overall for not a designer price tag. So don't forget to check out that video as well. But I would, if I was trying to look more sophisticated and more elegant, I would look for accessories that were a little bit more minimalistic and not so like out there. I would definitely avoid big logos. I know that these designer brands, they have so many accessories with such big logos, and it can be tempting to wear them because, you know, sometimes we mix the notion of looking expensive and actually wearing expensive things and making it so obvious that we're wearing expensive things, but it's not the same thing. I feel like if I wanted to look polished, I would avoid big logos. And also another really cool rule of thumb for accessories is to prefer accessories that have geometric shapes. So they're like bags that are a little bit more pointy, more obviously squared. They're gonna give that impression that they are a little bit more sophisticated and more elegant or expensive. And also the quality of the materials, the stitching, are all these things are things that you can look for whenever you're buying a new accessory. That geometric accessory rule is also valid for shoes. So for example, if you want shoes that are gonna make you look a little bit more expensive, I would give preference to pointy toes, not even necessarily heels, but pointy toes. They give that impression of expensive looking outfits and, you know, an expensive looking person. So pointy toes are great to start with if you're looking for shoes that are going to elevate your outfits overall. Another important thing is to build a wardrobe that has these pieces that are going to lay the foundation for your expensive looking outfits. So make sure that you have blazers, that you have tailored trousers, that you have either like a crisp white button-up shirt or a pinstripe button-up shirt. These key items, you can even be wearing jeans, but if you have like a crisp white shirt on and, you know, the right accessories, that can make you look instantly more polished and more elevated. And again, it's always a matter of balance. You can balance these more polished pieces with pieces that are a little bit more casual. So it's all a matter of balance, but these pieces that I just mentioned are so important to have in your wardrobe. And that leads me straight into the next tip, which is take some time to invest in classics, because classics are so important to build the foundation for your wardrobe. They're gonna make your life so much easier when you're dressing up. I know that they're not the funniest pieces to buy because, you know, why would you want to buy a basic black tank top when you can buy this gorgeous printed dress that's colorful that you're gonna wear once? So these are not fun pieces to buy, but whenever a friend of mine tells me like I have nothing to wear, I look at her wardrobe and I only see like printed dresses and, you know, just pieces that don't match with each other, and she doesn't have classics. So I feel like classics, once again, are so important to invest on. And they don't need to be expensive pieces. You can just go to Zara or Mango, and also check out my brand Knit Studios, because we have some really gorgeous basics that are super high quality too, and at a really good price and sustainable. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on the basics, but they're so important to have. Okay, the next tip makes me laugh a bit, but I think it's also really important to mention, to pay attention to, you know, your nails, so that they're always looking clean. You don't have to have your manicure done, but take mine for example. They're just bare nails, and I cut them and I filed them so they're really short. And I also paid some attention to my cuticles, so they're not like so much out there, but they're just bare nails and they're clean. And that's it. I'm comfortable with that. But, you know, if you like to get manicures, you can go get a manicure. But it's always nice to pay some attention to the way your nails are looking, because sometimes we can just forget about them and they're like, the next thing we know, they're super long and a bit disgusting and dirty, and we don't want that to look polished. So just such a basic tip, but that goes a long way. Same thing goes to the way you're smelling. So make sure that you don't have to wear expensive perfumes, but just make sure that you never forget your deodorant and that you're not like smelling bad, because I feel like that can really break the vibes. And also same thing for the hair. Doesn't matter the hair texture that you have. I feel like always giving that little bit of love to the way your hair is looking makes all the difference, and you know, it's just also part of the look. And same thing for makeup. Sunglasses are so important if you're going out during the day, of course. And no, you do not need to buy designer sunglasses to look chic. You can buy really chic and polished sunglasses for great price points in other brands that are not designers. I'm gonna mention just a few here, and I'm gonna show you guys some examples of what I have in my closet. If you can invest in one sunglass, I would say just get a nice pair of black sunglasses in black frames, like the most basic that you can have. And I personally love the cat eye pointy shape of sunglasses because I have the Celine cat eye ones, but you can find that same like or similar style in so many different brands, and I feel like this is such an elegant style of frames to have. I love this shape also because I feel like it's super retro and super chic, but these are from a brand called Lou Goldie, and then these are from Portangier. They are like more mask style sunglasses that I think are also really chic. So many different brands that you can go check out that don't have the hefty price tags that designer brands have. Okay, my next tip is, especially if you don't know what to wear and if you're not really 100% safe or secure, confident about your style, then focus on the neutral or monochromatic looks because they are just foolproof. Like you won't make a mistake when you're wearing an all black look or when you're wearing just neutrals. There's usually the rule of 3 in fashion, which is to, whenever you're dressing like neutrals and you're dabbing your foot into the waters of fashion and style, stick to 3 colors max in your outfit. So for example, if you're a neutrals kind of girl and you want to stick to the rule of 3, you can wear like black, you can wear beige, and you can wear white in an accessory, or you can just like black top, white pants, and just camel accessory. Overall, this is a really useful rule, and I live by this rule. I always try to stick to 3 colors in my outfits, unless I'm trying to go for something a little bit more maximalistic. Then you know there's no rule of 3 because you're just going on the edge of everything. But if you're just starting out or if you're like a neutrals kind of girl, this is a great rule to live by when you're dressing up. And by the way, you can definitely look very chic and very sophisticated and polished being a maximalist. My last tip for this video would be to invest in fewer but higher quality items for your wardrobe, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna spend more money, because I feel like nowadays the quality of clothing manufacturing has been decreasing more and more over the years. But if you buy secondhand, if you're willing to buy secondhand, which I love, I'm a vintage girl. If you're willing to buy secondhand, you can find so many amazing pieces with really high quality, because back in the day, like the quality used to be amazing and people would really take their time into manufacturing the clothes, like depending on the brand of course, but you know, usually the production wasn't so mass production as it is today. So I feel like if you're willing to take that step and go vintage shopping or go like thrifting, you can find so many amazing quality pieces that are not gonna be like, they're not gonna break your bank, they're not gonna be expensive, they're gonna be at a really good reasonable price point. And these are some shops that I love to buy secondhand and pre-loved. There's some more designer oriented thrift shops or like pre-loved shops. And you know, at the same time, there's also these amazing street shops that you go to, like there's in Paris and New York, in London. Like these are amazing cities to go thrift shopping, but you can definitely look for cool thrift shops in your city that you just go in and you can find amazing things, like regardless of whether it's designer or not. But you can there's no excuses to invest in fewer high quality items, and also making sure that they're versatile enough that you can wear them over and over again and make different combinations with it. And something that I like to think about whenever I'm buying a new piece for my wardrobe is, what do I have in my wardrobe and that can make a combination with that piece that I'm buying now, so that I don't make pointless purchases and that, I can get a lot of use for my money. I try to think about at least 3 or 4 different combinations that I can make with that new piece that I'm adding to my wardrobe before I actually go ahead and purchase it. So I feel like that's been very useful for me, and it's been very useful to make good use of my money and don't make like reckless purchases. So with that said, I think that these are all the tips that I had out of the top of my head to give you guys today in this video. These are tips that really helped me in building a good personal image that I transmitted to other people, helped me a lot in my career and my work. So it's not just a superficial, like shallow thing. This can actually have a really good impact in your life. So with that said, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and also to subscribe to my channel. We have tons of content just like this one coming up, and I really hope to see you guys on the next video. Bye.